Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with Steve and I. We usually have to pay people to do that, but you come on your own recognizance. That's not too bad.
It's true. It's true. So
Hanging out with Tom and Steve.
You're still tied in legal terms,
yes.
Tom, from your not jury duty.
Once again, all my legalese comes from my cousin Vinny and a few good men.
Yes. Yes. I was 12 Angry Men. And
yeah, well, that's, boy, you don't want to watch that and then go to jury.
You can. I'm just happy that you got to serve and not serve.
Yes, serve and not serve. That's a great way to put it.
You did. Not every attorney can be as charismatic.
Polished. Well, and
judges.
And I'm going to say it on the air. Attorney John Murphy is a polished, wonderful human being, as well as being a counselor, and that's what I was expecting. And not everybody's like John. I got to be honest with you.
No.
They don't have that level.
Well, everybody has to get seasoned at some point, Tom. So, unfortunately, sometimes the criminal courts are a training ground for a lot of lawyers starting out.
I didn't know that.
Well, you start where you can start, right? And
right.
So that's why one of the issues can be in that arena is, are they getting adequate representation?
Yeah.
They're underpaid, therefore understaffed.
Yeah.
So it's something, it's difficult, a balance of that. They're entitled to counsel, but should they be entitled to counsel that's as experienced as the district attorney's counsel?
Right.
Probably.
Right? Yeah, right. You would think.
Yeah.
Apples to apples. Now, and you were in the courtroom back in your early days?
I did a lot of stuff. I did felony trials. I did personal injury trials, family court, divorces, all that stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. And then what made you want to concentrate, for lack of a better term, concentrate on wills and trusts and, helping people keep their life saving?
Well, I've told this story. I was asked to help my wife's grandmother hang on to everything when she was in a nursing home by my mother-in-law. And I thought I could do it because I'm a lawyer, right? And it's Medicaid. How tough can Medicaid be?
Yes.
And I flopped, And I kind of had in the back of my mind, things weren't right for me. My health was kind of deteriorating. I was working all kinds of hours, night court, early in the morning, weekends, stuff like that. And it was that called to me about helping people like Bob and Catherine. They had their own business. My parents had their own business. I grew up in a small town, people losing everything they worked so hard for.
Yeah.
And when your parents own a small business, it's not just your parents that work towards the business, right? The kids do stuff,
absolutely.
Whether it's helping out at home so the parent can work. We put up signs. I used to mow my dad's lawn over at the office, all that other stuff. So it's really a family business. And to see people lose that for lack of planning ahead was difficult. So I wanted to get out a message that if you plan ahead, you can protect against these things. Nobody wants to go in a nursing home, but an ounce of prevention, right, is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah.
Do it now for about 1/2 of 1 month in a nursing home. Okay.
What was your process of learning? Because there was a lot to learn, to your point about how hard can Medicaid be.
Yeah. Lots of continuing education programs that I attended, as far out as Las Vegas to try to learn some things that were there. And it's funny how life kind of leads you in a direction maybe you're not aware of. So when I was out there, I heard a speaker. His name is Steve Riley. He is a mentor to attorneys and how to run a better practice, how to have a better life. Circle back, that was circa 2003, 2004. I am now in his program and one of his attorneys who trains other attorneys.
That's fun.
So I wound up with Steve serendipitously. And just learning, and the other thing was I was a sole support for 6 people at one time because my wife stayed home when our youngest was born. And she was finally able to get back in the workforce after about 10, 11 years. But that was a joint effort. I said, honey, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Wonderful.
And she, in her inimitable way, without ever saying it, she just demonstrated her belief in me by saying, okay, I've been home. Let me go to work. because I had the insurance, I paid the rent, I paid all this stuff.
Yeah, we're doing
I said,
everything.
I'll pick up that end, and you go do what you need to do.
And so
it's
you
great for us now.
Shifted what, a dozen years ago into
About
into focusing on
maybe
this?
even less. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whenever you restarted, whenever you jump started.
Yeah, well, we connected in 2000. I think we met in 2010, right?
Yeah, out in Chicago. Another one of those things I was going to learn.
Yeah.
He went to a thing to learn. I went to a thing was representing a different organization, was part of it, and that's where we met.
Yeah. And then we met again, 2 or 3 years later at a networking group. He didn't recognize me, but he just stands out in any crowd.
So night court's a real thing.
Oh,
That's what I
absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been to night court on judges' front porches.
Oh, wow.
In Montezuma, the town of Montezuma.
kidding.
Yeah, home of Mel Hall, former New York Yankee and Chicago Cub.
That's funny.
Constantia and all those other places. Yeah.
Interesting. So a lot of your clients that I've had the pleasure to interview say you have such a great bedside manner, and your people have a great bedside manner. Does that mean you have like a bunch of attorneys there, or?
I have one other attorney. Her name is Michelle. She's really fantastic. She's kind of finding her niche right now. She's very excited. We're going to start really concentrating on some special needs planning.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
I hope to get her on here one time to tell her story.
Sure.
Love to have her.
But, my staff really does most of the interaction initially with people, just so we can get people in the door. If it was just me having to meet with everybody, we wouldn't get enough people in the door.
Explain the case manager role.
Their role is really, if you call up and you have a problem, A, can we help you, right? We don't do everything that people need. But B, explain to you in a nutshell, once you tell us what the problem is, how we can help, what our price range is. We don't hide our prices. We're value-based. We know the value that we bring to everything. You'll have at least 3 choices, depending on what you want to spend, what you want to accomplish. And then once you decide to go forward, that case manager will meet with you when you come in. And that meeting is really just to secure that attorney-client relationship. We're going to get you on the path, get you in our calendar, and then start the process. So the second meeting in office is certainly with one of the attorneys, where we start doing the legal work, right? And then we'll review your decision. We might say, I don't think you really need that based upon what I know. Maybe we can, maybe need a little less planning, or maybe need a little more.
So they're the conduit to the process.
Yes.
But you also have another thing coming up here. I have a note. You have a workshop on May 15th, and you've done communicated to thousands of people over the years in these workshops. The How to Protect Your Home and Life Savings Workshop.
Yes.
And that is May 15th at the Hampton, right there in Liverpool.
Right there across from our office.
Right across from your office.
Yeah.
There it is. And there's one from 10 to 12. There's another one from 4 to 6. There's no fee for that.
Right.
Okay. So you can go and get your questions answered, or maybe just learn some things. And I've been to the workshop several times. There's no pressure to buy. It's not one of those, it's not a timeshare presentation. This is come, learn, and find out some things. But
it's interactive.
Yep. And people can register at the Safe Harbor Wills and Trust website, Safe Harbor Wills and Trust.
Yes.
Or phone number I have, 370-9977. Write that down, 370-9977. They can register, come, bring their spouse, bring their friend, bring their significant other. Is that fair?
Bring everybody you want. Bring all your decision makers. That's one of my favorite things that I do in my job is teaching and educating. Other than when somebody comes in, loved one in a nursing home, we say how much we can save after people told them we're going to lose everything. Yeah. The teaching and educating is great. And we actually just did one for financial advisors about Medicaid, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I love the teaching and education.
That's wonderful. Well, we really appreciate what you do and what your staff does. That's Attorney John Murphy. He's the owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, safeharborwillsandtrusts.com. John, you have a great rest of the day.
You too, Tom.
Okay, thank you.
And Steve.
Well, you didn't wish me a good rest of the day, so.
Yeah, what did you say? All right.
You give what you get in this life, Steve.
Grant Fletcher is coming up next. He's a sales trainer and sales leader at Fleet Feet right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.